Hi guys, it's Mark here from Konica Minolta. Today I'm going to run through the Konica Minolta PCL print driver for the Series 8 MFD. However, this presentation covers most of the Konica Minolta's A3 range of MFDs. Now at the top of the print driver, you've got your printer name. This name can vary depending on the naming conventions of your particular organisation. Below this are the tabs for the printer driver itself. These tabs allow you to change the different printing preferences. On the left side here you have two views. You've got a printer view and a paper view. This is your printer view. What this is showing you here is some of the installed options on your particular printer. The paper view shows you what the output of the job is going to look like. In this example here, it's set to double-sided and it's also set to colour as well. The pane down the bottom here shows you some of the features that have been selected for when you're sending your print job down to the machine. Okay, the printer information button down here takes you to the internal web interface of the machine, which is known as PageScope Web Connection. The My Tab screen allows you to customize this page in order to have all your favorite printer settings all on the one page. In order to do that, you need to go to the Edit My Tab. From the Edit My Tab screen, you can select the different features you would like to have on your My Tab page. Down the bottom here you can prioritize where you want them, whether you want them on the left or the right side, move them up and down, and remove them if you don't need them there anymore. Commonly used settings can be added to your favorite settings list up here. Select Add, give it a name. You can give it some comments down there if need be. Say OK, and then if you want to select those settings you can just go into your drop down list here and select the settings. The Basic tab gives you access to your original orientation, original size, paper sizes, reduction enlargements, paper trays, paper types, output methods, whether you want to secure print it, just print it, save it into a user box for later printing, proof printing it, or ID and printing it when that's enabled. It also gives you access to basic collating features as well. In the Layout tab, we have a combination button here which allows us to print multiple pages on the one sheet of paper. There's a combination details button below that which allows you to reorder which way you want them to be printed out. Below the combination option you have a rotate 180 degrees, that will rotate the image 180 degrees on the page. You have a skip blank pages, that does exactly what it says, it will remove blank pages from your job. And you've also got chapters mode as well. Chapters allows you to specify pages that will be printed on the front side of paper during double-sided or booklet printing. On the right hand side of the Layout tab you have print type. Print type is single-sided, double-sided and booklet modes. By adjusting the settings over here you'll see that the paper view over here changes. This one here has now a little flick on the corner there indicating that it's double-sided. If you select booklet mode it puts a little centre margin down there to indicate that it's going to make a booklet out of your job. Below the print type you have binding position. This can be adjusted to left, right and top bind if need be. You can also adjust the binding margin by selecting the little checkbox there and going to the binding margin settings. This allows you to move the whole image over on the page in order to create a larger margin if that's what you require. Below the binding margin is image shift. Image shift allows you to move your image around on the page if it's not quite where you need it. In order to adjust that you can go into the image shift settings here and adjust them all from within this screen here. Moving on to the Finish tab now. This feature allows you to adjust the output options for your print jobs. Keeping in mind that if they are greyed out you may not necessarily have those options installed on your particular device. Over here you've got your staple option, you've got a corner staple or a two-position staple. You've got a centerfold and staple when you're using booklet mode. You've got a hole punch, 2 or 4 hole punch depending on what's required. And you've also got multiple fold options, you've got half folds, you've got tri-folds, and you've got folds by the copy jobs or by the sheets. When half fold by the sheet is selected, the page fold setting is enabled down here which allows you to indicate how many pages you want folded. On the right hand side you can select your output tray. The default tray can be set within the system preferences of the machine. If you go over here and select your tray, you'll see over here under the printer view the height of the tray is selected. Keeping in mind that if you're doing staple jobs, they will have to come out on that particular tray that has that staple feature attached to it. Below the output tray option, you've got paper arrangement. Two options within this section here: prioritise arranging papers or prioritise productivity. Prioritise arranging papers means that if your document has A4 and A3 page sizes within the document, they are detected and the orientation of feeding the paper is automatically selected so that the pages are printed aligned to the side to be bound. Cover mode allows you to insert a printed or a blank sheet at the front or the rear of your document. In order to do this, you just select your front cover and your back cover, select whether you want it to be a blank page or a printed page, and which tray you would like your cover sheet to come from. If your MFD is fitted with a PI or a post inserter unit, you can insert front and rear covers from that device. The per page setting allows you to insert pages into your document. These pages can be thick paper, coloured paper, they can be printed on, or they can be blank. Lists can be created in advance that specify the paper and the print settings for each page. When printing on inserted paper, select the list you want to apply for that print job. In the Cover Mode tab, select the Per Page Setting checkbox and then select Edit List. Create a list by specifying the paper and print settings for each page. Step 1, select the Add button and under Page Number, select the page you wish to be inserted. If you select Print Insert, it will print on the page you have selected. If you select Blank Page Insert, it will insert a page after the selected page. There is also an option to select single or double-sided for your inserted sheet. If you select tab paper, you'll be able to print onto the tabs. You can enter the text on the tabs of the index paper up to 3 lines. It's important to remember when you select tabs, check the bypass tray settings here first, then select tab paper and then select use. From there you can enter the text in this area over here. And then from below that you can go into the tab text details. From this screen here you can adjust the orientation, the position, the fonts, colours and so on. From the tab paper settings section you can define the parameters of the tabs, how many tabs you have on the page, the positioning here. If you just follow the steps here, you'll be able to print correctly onto the particular tabs. Moving on to the Stamp Composition tab. From here you can apply watermarks to your print jobs by selecting the checkbox. If you wish to create your own watermarks or edit the current ones there, if you just go into the Edit box here, from here you can rename them, you can create your own, you can adjust the position of them, the size, the centering, the fonts and so on. You can actually select transparent if you want to be able to see your document through the watermark. You can select first page only and also have it repeat on the page as well. The overlay feature allows you to create and save an image and then apply that image to selected pages. For example, you can create your own letterheads. With the copy security feature, checkbox up here, text such as copy or private can be printed in the background pattern as a concealed text. This function is called copy protect. When a copy protected document is copied, the concealed security watermark appears on the entire page, thereby indicating that is an unauthorized copy. Select the date time checkbox or page number checkbox to apply these to your print job. From the edit screen you can change the date time numbering parameters. Select the header footer checkbox to apply various information like username, machine serial numbers, dates, etc. Please refer to the online user guide for configuration options. To do this, you must first create your host image. This is done by printing a document and selecting Create Host Image. You will then be prompted to save the image file when you hit the print button. Once you've printed that file, to apply that to a document, you need to just go into the Overlay section to Print Host Image, select the image file that you would like to use, say OK, and then print. The Quality tab allows you to change things like colour options, resolution, pattern, compression, and also allows you to do quick settings depending on what type of print job you are trying to print. From the Quality Adjustment screen, you can adjust the brightness, contrast and saturation. You've also got a colour balance option to allow you to quickly adjust the colour balances, and under the others you can adjust the pure blacks, screens and the smoothing. These settings here are more suited to the advanced user. There is an auto trapping option here. Trapping, simply put, is when two colours meet up on a page, they slightly overlap to stop any white space in between those colours. From the font settings screen, you can select an outline or a bitmap font. You can select whether you want to use the printer font or substitute a true type font for a print font. From the Others tab, there is an Excel Job Control checkbox. This checkbox is to print multiple Microsoft Excel sheets with different page settings at one time. The sheets may be separated into single sheet jobs depending on the data contained. This function avoids job separation as much as possible. The Remove White Background feature is designed to superimpose an overlay image on Microsoft PowerPoint data. White areas are removed so that the white background of the PowerPoint data does not hide the overlay image. Clear this checkbox to print the original as is without removing the background. Select Thin Line Support to prevent thin lines from disappearing when reducing print size. This is effective for thin lines such as table borders created in Excel, but not for thin lines used in illustrations. With the Convert to Grayscale feature, you can adjust the values up to 20% of colour on a page, so it will convert that page to grayscale and prevent unnecessary colour printing. For instance, if you had a blue URL link. The About button allows you to check the version of the print driver you are currently using.